Ah, ah, ah. Hello, everybody. How are we doing this fine evening? I am your host, Weebo Jones, and tonight this is Cocktail Hour. My co host will hopefully be with me shortly, although he is very preoccupied with his mushroom ketchup, as we are all aware. It needs to be monitored acutely. I jest. But in actuality, I don't know where Polly is. I only just gave him the link like a minute ago. And the reason why I was late myself, oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Ah, the reason that I was late myself was, oh god, that's a lot of makeup. That is a lot of lip gloss. The reason I'm late is because I was putting on lip gloss. But also, and and now that it's on, it's also coming off on my freaking teeth. Fuck. Anyway, I was also entertaining my cousin who stopped by for half an hour to pet the cats. So there was that. And you can't exactly just go, all right, you've had your fun, you've had your pets, now shoo to your cousin, because it's rude. You can gently prod them out the front door, but you can't, um, like tell them straight up to leave, because otherwise it wouldn't be super graceful. At least that's my own personal thoughts on etiquette and guest host. Uh, I have a few things that I like to do and things that I prefer to do when it is that I have guests over. First thing you do, obviously, is welcome them into your home. Ask them if they would like something to drink. Um, if they haven't been in the place before, give them the nickel tour. Show them everywhere, the kitchen, the bathroom, most of the important places that they're gonna need to know, obviously, but then also, like, I don't know, show off a little bit. Like, oh, yes, and this is my candelabra from the 19th century dynasty of the Tsars of Russia and jazz and such. You know, keep them on their toes. Make them think you're an interesting person. After that, you sit them down, and hopefully there's someone else in the house for you to, like, tag team them. So one person goes and continues doing whatever with the food if you're making food and they're coming over for dinner, or the other one gets to, like, entertain the guests a little bit longer. But if not, you sit them in the kitchen while you're continuing to make food and you just talk while you cook. It's there's a lot that goes into entertaining. Anyways, at the end of the night, I don't know about you guys, but in my family, goodbyes take about a half an hour on their own. It's a whole process. You have to make the rounds, go to each and every individual person who has attended the event. Goes on tight, dear, and say goodbye to them. Have that, like, mini 5-minute conversation. Kiss them goodbye. Hug them goodbye. And then move on to the next person, and the next person, and the next person. And that's why it takes so long, is because everyone always wants to talk, get updated about what's going on and how everyone is, etc., etc. I have a very big family. I have a very social family. We like to get together. We like to talk to each other. Unfortunately, we like each other. And so that means that goodbyes take forever. Anyway, yeah. I mean, you can just shove someone out the front door and tell them, hasta la bye bye, good riddance, but they're not going to come back. And the impetus behind being super ultra mega polite to people is that you want to keep that person in your life. Well, not super mega ultra polite, but I mean, like, ooze a modicum of respect and proper etiquette when you have people over. Anyway, it was only for a half an hour, so the goodbye wasn't that bad. Actually, I was on the John when he said goodbye to me, and I was just like, okay, because this is a cousin that doesn't particularly need, a whole bunch of pomp and circumstance when he walks out the door. It's just kind of like a hello, goodbye. It's quite nice. Marcin Johansson says, Marcin, is it? It is Johansson, right? Because I think I've said it Johnson and Johansson a number of times, and no one's ever corrected me on this. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that it's Johansson. But if I'm wrong, please correct me. Anyway, Do your guests offer to help is the question. Depends on the guest. Some of the guests that I have over are a little bit older and so can't help as well as other guests. My grandmother, who is going on 87 this year, I believe, she will come over and request and ask to help out with anything if there is anything that she can help out with, but we don't let her help because she's old. She, she's earned the right to be lazy, I guess is the perspective. So we just sit her down and let her talk and chill and enjoy the cats because she does like the cats. But not everyone has that part of etiquette down pat. So my go-to phrase whenever I enter someone's house is, "Can I do anything to help? Is there anything I can do to help? Do you need help with anything?" Those are my go-to phrases when I enter a house, meet the hostess. Yep. And that usually makes me the most favorited guest of all because I'm also helping a lot with things. And usually, I don't know, 2 or 3 things after I've done the thing, the host will be like, "All right, you've done enough. Now go enjoy." I am drinking tea tonight. Still not doing. I'm still doing the 6-week challenge. Still trying to be good. Although some days it's harder than others. But this right here, this is a hibiscus berry detox tea. It's very good. There's not a lot left, and I'm going to have to make another spot of tea here in a minute. When Polly shows up, I'm going to dip out for 5 seconds, turn on the kettle, let it get hot, and then go get more tea. Because, I don't know, there's just something really nice about drinking tea. It's warming. It warms me inside. But no, I'm not drinking my signature drink, the Kris Kringle. I didn't know that I had a signature drink called the Kris Kringle, unless we're talking about eggnog and rum, in which case, then yes. Yes, in fact, I do. Oh, speaking of things that I do. Hello. Welcome to the party, boys and girls. I'm glad that you could get a close-up of my chesticle area. Oh no, this is almost empty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to retire another candle. This is unfortunate. Come here. And I need more matches, it seems. Ah! I lost the match. I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh gosh, this is precarious. I'm gonna die. And now my hand is all black. Look at that. That's not a lot of candle left. It's not at all. And I know. Basic white girl, right? Spiced pumpkin patch. It's fucking good. Oh no, one of them went out. And the other one went out. Okay, I think this one's dead. Boys, fallen soldier. Ugh. God damn it. I got ash all over my fingers. It's okay. I'll live. The kiss. Marcin Johansson says, "Please let the kettle whistle." It doesn't do that. It doesn't have the little spout lid that prevents all of the steam from coming out, unfortunately. And that results in, of course, it whistling when it is done because it's attempting to move past the spout lid. We don't have a spout lid, so it just steams until it's empty, and then it starts to crackle because it's empty and it's literally just heating up the kettle itself, which is not what you want to do. It actually sounds pretty precarious, I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have put the kettle on before I hopped on to the show, but I decided against that because, well, you see, I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to lose all of my hot water while waiting for Polly because I'm not sure when exactly he is going to come on, unfortunately. But anyway, Daniel Fulman says, say you microwave the water to drive the British people crazy. I'm actually vehemently against that. Vehemently against microwaving my tea water because it doesn't. Now, I read this somewhere before. I'm not 100% sure how true it is, but microwaving water, I know that it doesn't retain the heat as well, I think. Okay, apparently there are articles about this. Apparently, so why microwaving water for tea is a bad idea. We're gonna learn some education today. It's gonna be a good time. I am having a great old time. Apparently, there are a lot of things us novice tea makers are doing wrong. A big one is using the microwave to heat up our water. Making tea might seem pretty easy. You just heat up some water and add some tea leaves. But apparently, there are a lot of things us novice tea. Okay, no. It turns out, there we go. I skipped to the interesting part. That tea requires certain types of hot water. That is, water at a certain temperature. Green tea, for example, should be steeped at 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Herbal tea requires 210. When you stick your mug in the microwave, you have no idea how hot your water is. Tea kettles, on the other hand, are designed to heat tea to 212, according to Slate. How, though? How? Literally, how? Like, how would you design a tea kettle to only heat tea to a certain degree point? Also, why are we quoting Slate? Slate doesn't seem like an authority on anything at all, much less the science of tea. Excuse me. But let's carry on. There are a lot of other theories about why nuking your mug isn't the best, Slate says. The microwave will result in unevenly hot water. Interesting. I guess that's similar to what it was that I was under the impression happened when you microwaved water. So what I understood about microwaving water is that it wouldn't get not evenly, but it wouldn't retain heat as long for whatever reason. And I guess that would be the reason. And it makes sense because, well, if you've ever microwaved anything in your life and it's a dense something or another, like a lasagna, right? If you're microwaving a lasagna, oftentimes it doesn't nuke the middle of the lasagna because the lasagnas are super fucking dense. They're layered, they're tiered, there's a whole bunch of shit in them, and they don't get microwaved very easily. So oftentimes you have to put them back in the oven instead of microwaving them so that things work better. But yeah, the lasagna is cold in the middle, and so you have to like mash it up and ruin the whole everything about the lasagna. Like everything that you like about lasagna, the fact that it's layered probably, you got to ruin that in order to get the lasagna cooked correctly when you want to reheat it. And that is an utter tragedy. So I guess what they're saying is the same thing happens to the water in the microwave when you nuke it. It doesn't get evenly hot, and as a result, the tea won't steep as well as if you boil it or if you heat it on a kettle. Which makes sense. I get it. Because in a kettle, right, you heat it to a point of boiling, at least close to a point of boiling. At least it's a point of steaming, but the whole thing is getting heated up because it's constantly getting heated up. It's not microwaved. And so everything is warm, everything is super hot, and when you pour it in, everything is evenly steeped. Makes sense. This should all come with a like disclaimer that I am not an expert in microwaves or physics. I actually got a C in physics in high school. This is one of my less I was good at biology, I was good at chemistry, but physics was the shit science for me. Environmental science I was also really good at. Forensic science also an A. It's just for whatever reason. I think honestly, this is going to sound like an excuse, but I think it was the teacher. The fact that the teacher did not like me definitely played into that. Because, like I said, I'm a good student. I'm a really good student. I have always been a good student. Well, that's not true. Third grade, I was not a very good student. I did not know how to read. in third grade. And that's a whole separate issue, though, because once I actually figured out how to read and learn and attend school, I was much better at school. But I was coming from a Montessori background and being plopped straight down in the middle of a public school education, which is just complete like whiplash for a person. Like, if you ever go from, I don't know, what would be a good comparison for this? I don't know. I don't know what would be a good comparison for this. But it's a completely different type of learning. The whole Montessori school theory of education is students self-teach. They self-apply. No, it's a jean shirt basically. It's a jean button-up. That was a boyfriend, though. He had a notification. No, but like, okay, so the Montessori education that I came from, the background, from what I remember, and keep in mind this is like preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and then I went into public school. So this is very early on in my youth that I'm trying to like harken back to remember what happened. But Montessori education is very loose in that you don't have a set curriculum that you're following. You as the student, as the young child, are setting the education that you want, when you want, how you want it, however long you want it, so long as you complete the task that is like on your docket, essentially. So they'd give you a piece of paper with all the things that you're supposed to accomplish, and you could do any of the things however you wanted to, but you had to do like a science, a math, a reading task. But they weren't super structured. So it was, like I said, it was a very loose education. And coming from that, going into public school, it was like whiplash for me. My dad very quickly found out how shitty of an education I was getting when the teacher did one of those reading comprehension tests where they sit you in the hallway with one of those reading passages and they set a timer for a minute and have you read through the passage. And he found out that I was only capable of reading 18 words a minute based off of that. My comprehension was shit as a result, which meant that I was very far behind as a student. It was very unfortunate. Yes, Weebo was a retard. So in third grade, he cracked down on that, got me caught up, and in the span of a year, I went from reading 18 words a minute to reading the Harry Potter series. So very quick study. Bless you, Dad. Thank you. He's not dead. I don't know why I'm doing it to the north, the sky. But thank you, Dad. Appreciate it. That was what got me back on track, and I've been an excellent student ever since. Now, there are different types of learning, different ways of learning, I will say, and some of them work better for some students as opposed to others. For instance, my brother did not thrive when we moved to public school. My mother was always very vehement about the fact that she thought he would have probably thrived more still at the Montessori school than not. And perhaps to some degree I would agree with her. However, I don't think he would have received a good education, a well-rounded education, because he would have probably focused on those subjects that he was passionate about, only passionate about, as opposed to all of the other ones, including the ones that you like need. Like, he was never a big fan of reading. That was always something that Dad had to force him to do. That was never the case for me, but he was never a big fan of reading, and so he would not have indulged as much as I would. So students are different, and the sum of that is essentially be part of your children's education. Be an active member of your child's education. Know what's going on. Integrate yourself in what it is they're doing. Learn the material as they're learning, so you can help them study the material as well if you don't already know it, and so that you can kind of keep on track with the student as they're progressing through their education. It's very important for them to know that they have that support system as they're going forward. I'm not saying do the work for them. What I'm saying is be the support that they need in their life. Know what's going on. They're a kid. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what anything is about. They don't know how to study. They know literally jack shit. They are a blank slate. And to do that unguided, completely unguided, is a mistake. Marcin Johansson asks, do we really need a well-rounded education? I agree that we need a well-rounded education. Now I will say that I disagree with how we go about doing that as a society in multiple facets. I'm not saying that it's wise to force kids to do things that they're not interested in, but I do think that it is important that a student has a basic grasp of fundamentals of how things work, where things are. Like, for instance, taking a civics class, anything that has to do with government and learning how your government works, I think that's exceedingly important and lacking in our current day society. Economics, I think it's very important that students understand how finances works. Finance works. Yes. So like a class that teaches students about taxes and the intricacies of that so that they don't have to rely on an accountant and TurboTax every year to fill out a form to do it for, like, not that they have to learn how to do their own taxes, but so they have a better understanding of like what a W-2 is versus a 1099. Okay, how to fill those out, the best way to go about writing things off, best way to stay out of trouble with the IRS, and other stuff. I do think that our education is lacking in some areas, a lot of areas. I don't agree that we should force students to learn certain subjects if they're not, like, absolutely not interested in it. If a student doesn't want to learn a foreign language, that's fine. That's cool. Especially in America, there isn't really a need for a high school student to start learning Spanish, in my opinion, for the first time in high school. If they were going to learn a foreign language, I probably would have wanted them to start earlier on, much earlier on, because they can retain that a lot easier and they can manifest those language skills a lot easier because they're so young, because they're so malleable. But at a high school level, unless the student is super popular, unless the student is super passionate, passionate about languages, I don't think that it's super helpful to force them to take 2 semesters of language in order to graduate, or 2 years of language in order to graduate. That's just ridiculous to me. Gym classes. I don't know about the rest of the United States, but I know in Illinois, students are, at least when I was in school, students have to take at least 4 years of physical education, regardless of if they are in an extracurricular sport. Now, there are some students that do sports after school. I was in martial arts after school, and it did take some time out of my day after school that I could have been putting into, I don't know, a job, volunteering, homework, even studying for school, spending time with my friends and family, socializing and stuff, that I sacrificed and probably would have benefited more from not having PE, but instead used PE to, like, as a secondary study hall. That makes more sense to me than forcing every single student who goes through the halls to take 4 years of physical education, like, and mandate it across the board. If they're in physical education outside of school, I don't see a need for that. The whole point of physical education is to get the student active, because that's not the case for some students. Raziel says homework is wrong. I disagree with that. I think that the amount of homework is excessive, but I do think that homework practice is exceedingly important for cultivation of the skills that they're teaching you, because they only get, an hour to teach each subject, if that. An hour to teach each subject is not nearly enough to retain the information that they're giving you, especially at the pace that they're going. So the point of homework is to practice that material when you get home. Now, for things like mathematics, where performance is assessed based off of your ability to memorize things and perform those skills that you learned by practicing, homework is important. Now, what I will say is tests that are closed note. Okay, this is going to sound sketchy, bad. Like I'm trying to get out of things, but closed note tests are stupid. Let me explain. Oh, hey, Polly. I didn't even notice that. Have you been here for long?
Hours.
Ha-ha.
Hours and hours.
Polly, we're talking about my opinions on the education system. And I was just about to get into why I think that the current method of testing is flawed and not conducive to real world applicability in any sense. Like, for instance, in my college classes, a lot of the computer science classes were closed note tests classes. So we'd have to memorize all of the skills that we needed to know on the test, and all of the code components that we were going to use, that we could use, that we would use material on the test. We'd have to memorize them all and then remember them while we were sitting for the test. And in the real world, that is not at all how that works. Like, college made me think that every single day that I was sitting in front of a computer at my job, I would have to divine exactly the solution that I would need for any individual code thing that I was working on in a 45-minute time span, or I would fail. And that is not how that works. And there are very few instances where I have to, off the top of my head, reference a piece of code perfectly and put it to practice perfectly, on a whim. It never happens. I am Googling constantly for my job. It's nuts. It's insane. I feel so robbed of my time at college because the hours I spent studying, I could have done literally anything else if the tests were open note. Just as long as you can generate a result.
Yeah.
As long as you can perform the thing.
Yeah.
It pissed me
off. My
Santa
hat's better than your Santa hat.
Well, if only for the fact that you have, what is that?
Mistletoe.
No, because mistletoe is white, so that would be holly, right?
No. It's mistletoe. Yeah. No, it's mistletoe leaves with holly berries. You see the joke?
Okay, I'll let it slide.
All right. So it's so that everyone I approach, has kissed me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Makes sense.
I'm not a pervert. It's festive.
Naturally. Oh, you want to know what else? That pisses me off about school? Sorry, total tangent, but since we're on the subject of my education. The amount of times my computer science professors told me that, it's going to sound really bad, but they made plagiarism of code seem like the worst and most horrific offense, when, first off, how do you plagiarize code? There are only so many ways that you can formulate a for loop. Just honestly. But secondly, the amount of plagiarism that actually happens in corporate computer science is astounding. Yes, dear. Hello, dear. Lay down, dear. You're in Polly's way. Sorry. Anyway, rant over. Personally, I'm just super salty about it. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. But yeah. How you doing, Polly?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Just all right? Not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? Yes? No? Maybe so? I don't know.
What?
Just all right? Not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
No. None of that. Just all right. I'm here. I'm festive. It's Advent. Woohoo!
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm super hyped about Christmas season. I got all my decorations out and hung up and or placed appropriately. The only thing that I have left to decorate is my cubicle at work. So that's going to get done this week. And I am absolutely going to kick Barbara's ass. Not her real name, but she's the one that is currently the most festively decorated cube. And there's a competition in the office. And I'm going to fucking win. That $25 gift card. God damn it. It's going to happen. It's based off of who can decorate their cube better.
Your cat looks super festive.
Yes, I know. I put their colors on too. So, Valentine has the red one, and then Meowschwitz has the green one. I don't know where she is. Oh, she's over there chilling. But yeah, I got them holiday colors like 3 months ago. So all throughout October, November, and December, I've had a different color on them. I'm very happy about that. Now I got to get other.
My friend has a twirly-eared cat, and I want a twirly-eared cat.
A twirly-eared cat?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, cats like will like bzzz, spin their ears, like they do that sometimes, like if their ears itch or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, or if you just like just if you go to like poke your finger in their ear, like just touch the fur.
They're very sensitive.
Yeah, like immediately they'll fold their ear closed, like just out of like, I don't want nothing going in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Do you let people poke you in the ear hole?
No, absolutely not. No, exactly. I totally get it. So it's apparently like this cat just would like, and I had seen it multiple times. It would sit down and they get their paws under their front, like, and they get into that little sit there and stare at the room position.
Yeah.
Right. And the cat would just like once it got comfortable would just go bzzz and spin its ears a couple of times. It was hilarious. Like that alone is worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Cats are so adorable. This one is like, look at that. You see that? You see that? You see that? Oh. She's a slut for attention. I mean, she is. She also almost knocked over my tree earlier. So we put the Christmas tree up, and it's got like a cable running up so that the lights are attached and it lights up the tree. Okay, all right. I'll give you pets. She's playing with it. I'm like, baby, no, you can't do that. You're gonna knock over my tree, or probably electrocute yourself. Neither of which I want to have to deal with this holiday season. Thank you very much. I already lost a cat last year during Christmas. I don't want to lose another one.
Rip Cole.
All right, be in peace, my dude. Love him so much. All right, no more holiday deaths, please. So yeah, she almost knocked over my tree. So we gotta watch this one. So you're still not fully decorated? Is that what I'm hearing there, Polly?
What is it with you? Harassing me on Twitter, harassing me in DMs. Like what's going on?
Goes into it. I thought that we were on the same page about festivities, and come to find out that you're a slacker. Like, what that's about?
I had things to do. I made a batch of colonial mushroom ketchup. All right, it requires monitoring.
Yeah,
it's a multi-hour process.
Okay, all right. So while you're monitoring it, can you not physically place things in the same room or an adjacent room that are festive?
Lady, I make my own ornaments. Do you?
I mean, when I was 5, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like little paper stars up in the tree and whatnot.
Someday I will have tiny little slaves that will make my ornaments for me. How about that? Ow.
You leave the Chinese out of this.
That's not what I meant. Oh, get your butt out of the camera, dear. She just flicked me in the face.
I mean, I got, like I said, I got stuff up. The railing, garland, and lighting is complete, which took longer than I thought it was going to. I got the Christmas village set up.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Wait, how many boxes of Christmas decorations did you take, or do you have?
2.
You have 2. Okay, we had 4, so I was just curious because I
got out the little church that's like a music box. It's got one of them ting 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 ting. It plays Silent Night. You have to like wind it up in the back, and it's got like little lights on the inside and whatnot. And it's got the stained glass windows. Like when we were talking about turning the birdhouse into the See, I basically want to do that, but in wood and make it like old timey and put snow on it, like make it like a true Christmas Village church, and then like cannibalize a music box that plays a Christmas tune. I basically want to recreate that plastic Christmas decoration, but like make it my own.
That's fair. Right. Before we continue on about me shaming you about your Christmas decor, thank you the next 6 minutes for the donation over on the Streamlabs. You survived the night. You were quite the character on Twitter. Well, did you get more cab, or was the amount of cab you acquired sufficient? At any rate, it awesome. Y'all had so much fun. Fun is good. Take care and have a great week. Sub to Weebo. And then 6 minutes ago from Weebo's Ginormous Snail Trail. Thank you for the donation. Happy holidays, you festive fucks. Don't forget to support your local otters this holiday season too. Agreed. And in that spirit, Holly, check your Streamlabs. I think that was.
I will. No, I will. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now.
Good. Go through the whole process of going into Streamlabs, navigating to the dashboard, looking up recent events, blah, 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 blah. We hate to poke around and find out. That's why I have it bookmarked, because I'm like, I'm not doing all that nonsense. Fuck that.
Have you ever done a tree, like traditional Victorian, early American tree trimming session?
How is it different from like normally trimming one's tree? Like you go out, you find a tree, you bring it in, you trim it so that it looks pretty, and then you hang it with lights and ornaments and shit, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I've done that.
But there's all sorts of people that just put up the tree, and it's like, that tree's not symmetrical.
What's that about?
Laziness, a lack of understanding of like centuries-old tradition. The whole point of the trimming the tree is to get it like to make it look symmetrical. Like that's
exactly
that's part of the thing. That it forms like this triangle that goes up to the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We used to do that every single year. When my brother and I were kids, my dad would take us out. We'd go tree shopping because, actually, some years we'd go to the tree lots where the trees were still attached to the ground,
right?
Still planted and attached to their roots. Some years we'd go to the tree lot where they just have a supply of trees tied up and waiting to be taken home. Actually, you know what? It kind of sounds kidnappy when I say it like that.
No, that's fine.
Like, oh yeah, I just go to the tree market, pick out my tree, tie it up, bring it home.
I pick out my schoolgirl waifu, and then it does sound kind of kidnappy, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit.
There we go. I had some lights. I had some lights in my computer room here. I set them all around the bookshelf, and then I got a little nativity scene over there that lights up very nicely and everything. So I just had to lean over and turn those on. It's much more festive in here now.
Good. There's not a whole lot of festivities in this room because we literally do not have room to put anything anywhere at all. It's chock full of everything already. So the rest of the house will have to spice. The only decoration that we have in this room is actually on the door leading into the room. It's like one of those door hanging things, not a wreath, but it's.
You know what I saw today, Weebo?
What?
KFC fire logs.
like fire logs that when you put them on the fire smell like KFC chicken bucket.
Correct. Like it's even got the kernel on it and everything. Like they're like it's like it smells like 14 or 13 or whatever the fuck it is, herbs and spices.
Why?
Well, see, now here's the thing. I thought about it, and it's like now if it makes the room smell with the aroma of the spices, that's awesome. If it smells like fried chicken, not so much. Because like then it's like I don't want to smell like grease.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's if it's the herbs and spices I'm smelling, great idea. You know, black pepper and whatever the other secret ingredients are and all that. That's cool. But like yeah, Old Man Enfield smells like a fucking grease fire. Exactly. If it smells like I'm standing over a fucking fryer, I don't want that. So I'm uncertain. But that skid, like they had a whole fucking skid of them at Walmart, and they were like picked the fuck over. Like you could tell, like they were moving, man. People were buying them KFC logs.
That made me feel like, one, very hungry, but two, it made me feel dirty. I smelled, if the house smelled like chicken, fried chicken, all the time. Yeah, it would make me feel kind of disgusting.
That's what I mean. Like, does it smell like spices or does it smell like chicken? I want to know.
That's the age-old question. Well, did you actually pick up the log and smell it?
Yeah, it smelled like the paper it was wrapped in. If you know what I mean. Like it just smelled like brown wrapping paper.
Okay.
You know that particular pulpy paper smell.
So you didn't even like get a chance to smell the actual log. That seems kind of scammy to me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean maybe I should like torn open the edge and like put like my lighter to it.
Taking a whiff.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is the genuine thing.
Which makes me wonder, do they have KFC incense? If they got fire logs, you'd have to figure.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around who thought that was the way to go.
That's entrepreneurialism right there. What are you talking about?
Actually, no. This is the same company that has a KFC themed PC tower with a chicken bucket warmer attached. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And then how about KFC in Japan, right? Maybe that's where it's originating.
Yeah, probably.
Like Christmas is the KFC's the traditional Christmas dinner in Japan, or has become that. Orders were put in months ago where you ain't going to get no chicken because it's that popular.
No chicken for you. Can't you just fry your own chicken?
Well, it's got to be the kernel. I think that's the thing.
I disagree personally. I am a big fan of Chick-fil-A chicken.
Yeah, same here.
It's really good.
Mostly because I don't like the Gayers, but you know.
It has nothing to do with the gays.
Yeah, I know
really
it
like
doesn't. It's just I can't bring up fucking Chick-fil-A without somebody getting all
pissy about it.
Yeah.
I don't even mind that they hate the gays. I'm there for the chicken. That's it. I can separate the artist from the art.
I can separate the kernel from the bird.
It's not even a kernel, though. I don't think Chick-fil-A has a... Do they have a mascot?
I think they got a bird head, don't they? Now that you've asked, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
I think it's a chicken, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so. it's a bird head.
That yawn deserves a snap and a caption. I can't help it. I had a long night last night. I was out with my fam. We went to a hockey game. We went up to see my brother in Michigan, and we helped him move from his old apartment to his new apartment, which is the definition of shithole. The new apartment, not the old one, because he moved from a really nice, well-kept, like house thing, duplex. I think that's the correct word. And there was a lot of space there. Everything was really nice. The kitchen was large. And then we go to, I think it's a quadplex, because there were at least 4 different apartments in this one house. And this house probably had seen the Civil War. It was old, and everything was janky as hell. Like it reminded me of my apartment, but if my apartment had not been maintained. And yeah, it was bad. So we helped him move into his apartment, and I had to do this around his snake because he's got 2 snakes, and he'd moved one of them in already, and I am vehemently terrified of snakes. So I'm like,
are you really
organizing all his shit? And he's got a snake in the tank right in the living room, in the middle of the living room. I'm like, ah, 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 the whole time.
Jesus?
Well, not actually like that, but internally I was like, but yes, I am terrified of snakes. It is the only thing that I am like deathly afraid of. I have a phobia of snakes. I don't like them. I don't like them. Like you can have them, but I don't want it. And it's a family trait, I think. But it was. I am very, very sure that was the influence of his ex-girlfriend. Why he got the snakes, which is also the reason why he had to move out of his really nice duplex. Because now he no longer has a girlfriend. So, unfortunate for him. She got the dog in the divorce. He got the snakes. I don't think that was a fair trade, to be honest. But
Chick-fil-A's mascot are cows with placard signs reading "Eat more chicken."
Really?
Apparently.
Chicken's not even spelled correctly. Wait. Is Chick-fil-A spelled incorrectly already?
Yep.
Is it not CIC? CHC?
No, it's CHIK from Chick-fil-A.
Oh my god. You're right. Chick-fil-A mascot. Yeah, it is a cow. Saying eat more chicken. Why? That makes no sense. I don't understand. Sorry for making you yawn, Polly. It was a long weekend, like I said. Yawns are contagious. So I'm slightly more than low energy tonight because not only did we go to bed late last night, but we had to drive home today, and it was like 6 hours of my life in the car in the middle of a blizzard because it started snowing as soon as we left. Visibility was 0. So it was a long day. It was a long weekend.
So I was in a retail environment today.
Indeed.
For a good length of time.
And
I discovered 2 things.
Yes.
2 things. Okay.
What?
Well, I further confirmed something I knew to be the case. And secondarily discovered something.
Okay.
One, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is in fact an extremely depressing song. And in years past where I have called it the suicide song, I was not being, over the top with that.
What do you mean?
It's a very depressing song.
Like the lyrics?
That's right.
I don't understand. How can this be? Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles.
No. Hold on. Stop for a second. Think about the person who's alone at Christmas. Okay. Think about the person who doesn't have a family, or a family that is like disowned them, or that they don't feel that. Okay. Just think about or somebody who's single.
Yeah.
And there's all these happy couples kissing on the mistletoe and blah, 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 blah. Right. Okay. Now, from that perspective, go ahead and read those lyrics.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of your faithful friends who I dear to us. Is it not who are dear to us?
Yes.
Anyway, they gather near to us once more. Through the years, we'll always be together if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough. So have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. So have yourself a merry little Christmas. Now,
See? And
I guess from
it's sung with
that
like a very
perspective,
nostalgic tone, and it's very low tempo. Sounds like the whole thing is mocking you. Your troubles will be far away.
I don't know
Like
if
while you're
it's
sitting there
mocking.
thinking about how, like, while you sit there, boozing it up because you got nothing else to do and no one to hang around. Nobody wants you coming over because you're like a misfit.
That's a really black-pilled way to look at this song. I've never interpreted it that way, and I'm actually having a hard time doing so now that you've like put that context in my brain. I mean, I guess I could see how it could be depressing, taken from the perspective of someone who literally has no one to hang out with on Christmas.
Well, listen, Susie Sunshine with The Perfect Life. Some people.
Polly, are you an orphan?
No.
That you have people to hang out with on Christmas?
No. Everybody has someone to hang out with on Christmas. Even homeless people can go to a soup kitchen. My point is that you are deliberately being obstinate here. That is, in fact, a depressing song.
I'm deliberately being obstinate.
And look, there's Creepy Little Book, written in 43, published in 44, wartime sentiment. There you go. See?
You know what?
Think about the soldier in a fucking, barracks or a fucking foxhole. Think about the woman at home. Think about the all the separated people and whatnot, and the people that have lost loved ones already. Have yourself a merry little Christmas, fucker. It
was written by Hugh Martin and Ralph Blaine, introduced by Judy Garland in the 1944 MGM musical Meet Me in St. Louis. So,
Judy Garland, a woman who committed suicide.
God damn it.
I mean, the evidence is mounting, Weebo.
All right, hang on. I need to see
that part of it.
What the plot is. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Okay, so this is the origin of that song, the context of why they're singing it in the musical. The lyrics for Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas were originally different. The lyricist Hugh Martin wrote opening lyrics which were deemed too depressing by Judy Garland.
Second fuck the stacking evidence.
So they are: have yourself a merry little Christmas. It may be your last. Next year, we may all be living in the past. Martin changed the lyrics. Years after the movie's release, additional lyric changes were made by Frank Sinatra, who objected to the song's generally downbeat tone. The most notable changes.
Frank even. See, everybody. And this is like Weebo. This is not just me. Like, I'm listening to this song, like multiple different iterations of it today in a retail environment. And I'm like, for years, I thought this is like when I was a little Polly. I thought, God, this song is just bringing me down, man. Like, it's. More people have killed themselves to this song during the holidays than any other song, man.
Oh, yeah? Do you have a statistic for that? Okay, so once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends that were dear to us will be near to us once more. And then it became, here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends that are dear to us, gathered near to us once more. I guess I could see why that's more depressing. But they changed the lyrics, so which ones were you listening to? The old version or the new version? It's very important.
See, but this is the thing. The song has a certain edge to it, a certain vibe, a certain, tone. Okay? And even when you go changing around, well, let's get rid of this particularly harsh lyric or particularly dour lyric. Okay. It doesn't mean that like the overall tone of the song changes. It doesn't. You haven't helped.
Okay, so here is the context with which that song is being sung. Let's start from here. An elegant ball takes place on Christmas Eve. John cannot take Esther as his date because he was too late to pick up his tuxedo at the tailor's. Initially disappointed, she is soon relieved when her grandfather offers to take her to the ball instead. At the ball, Esther and Rose plot to ruin the evening of Warren's date, Lucy Ballard, by filling up her dance card with losers. Oh, what an own! They're surprised when Lucy.
Jesus Christ.
They are surprised when Lucille turns out to be warm and friendly and not an Eastern snob. She suggests that Warren should really be with Rose, allowing her to pair up with Lon. Esther switches her dance card with Lucille's and ends up with the dances in Lucille's place as the clumsy and awkward partners. After being rescued by Grandpa, Esther is overjoyed when John appears in a tuxedo and the pair dance together for the rest of the evening. Later on, John proposes to Esther and she accepts, but their future is uncertain because she must still move to New York. Esther returns home to find Tootie waiting impatiently for Santa and worrying about whether she can bring all her toys with her to New York. After Esther's poignant rendition of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, an inconsolable Tootie runs out into the cold to destroy the snowman they had to leave behind. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, all right, okay. It's depressing. You win. You've been vindicated, Polly. I hope you're happy.
No, I don't want to be vindicated. I just want like people to realize that if you're playing this song around people that are not,
You okay there? Sorry.
Susie Sunshine, Gertie Gumdrops like Weebo Jones, you might be depressing the shit out of them.
Susie Sunshine, Gertie Gumdrop? Is that what you called me?
Gertie Gumdrops.
Okay, just because I have a pleasant and upbeat disposition 98% of the time doesn't mean that I'm Susie Sunshine. That might be exactly what it means. All right, just because I have a pleasant disposition doesn't make it a bad thing, okay? I brighten up a room when I walk into it. I can't help it. I'm just awesome like that.
Low-key humble brag. Well done.
I have much confidence. Thank you very much. God damn.
Okay, so the second thing that I noticed.
Okay, so what else did you notice?
They were playing Sirius XM, and it was the Soulful Christmas channel. Mm-hmm. I was complaining that you've got this limitation on, like, it's like secular Christmas music. So in other words, like Winter Festival.
Nothing Jesus-y.
Nothing remotely. Okay, when you go over to a Soulful Christmas, you try and tell black folks to not sing about religion. Yeah, good luck. Like
no Little Drummer Boy here.
No, I mean, there's Little Drummer Boy, right?
Yeah.
Because
the drummer boy is just beating on a drum for no fucking reason.
And what are you talking about? He's playing for Jesus.
No. I meant it's because it's secular music. We don't get a drummer.
Oh, yeah. It's just the dumbass kids slamming away on a drum in the secular version.
No, it's not even. He's not even a drum. He's just taking a wooden spoon from a kitchen and he's slamming on the back of like a plastic empty laundry detergent bottle, and right. That's it. That's all that's happening. Secular Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Is this what you want?
ADHD misbehaved children?
Exactly. That's what you get.
Yeah. So, like, while I was there, like, I heard the run of classic Victorian religious. I hate calling Christmas songs religious songs. That bugged the shit out of me. Because I had a conversation with a couple of people where they said, I hate Christmas songs that are like, they're not traditional songs. They're like, whatever the fuck, In Sync sings Christmas, whatever the fuck.
Like Santa Baby.
Well, yeah, it's Santa Baby, of course, right? Everyone's got to do Santa Baby, but it's like you could write your own sexy Christmas song. You don't need to write the same goddamn one. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Yeah, we get it.
You know how hard it is to probably like introduce a brand new Christmas song into the Christmas lineup, because it comes around every year, once a year, and there are staples to the Christmas lineup, and you cannot deviate from that at all.
There are staples, but if you can manage it, it's
like write a new Christmas song.
like it's gold.
Yeah. Although I do like the alternate versions of some songs, like Michael Bublé.
Yeah,
I love popular. His version of literally everything, because I can sing all of that in my sexy alto one voice. It pleases me. Oh my god! Scared the fuck out of me. Get down. Move your butt. Get it out.
I tell a story every year. It was years and years. Like, it was only a few years ago that somebody explained to me, and I realized for the first time that I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus was not about mom being a hoe.
It was about a kid seeing his mother and his father kissing, and his father was dressed as Santa Claus.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
You thought that mommy was being a hoe, like cheating on dad with
was
Santa
laying
Claus.
a smooch on Santa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I mean, she wasn't getting railed up the ass by Santa, but like, I mean, she was, you know, she was just laying a smooch on him and tickling him under his beard, as the song says. She was flirting with Santa. And if only daddy knew, it'd be so funny, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't clue into that. Well, it's from a kid's perspective, and didn't realize that was dad dressed up as Santa. I didn't clue in. And somebody said, no, I'm supposed to be the dad. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, it's from a child's perspective. The kid doesn't understand, doesn't clue in that, you know, with the hat and the beard and everything, that's dad. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Doesn't say. Yeah, I thought that for a while too, and then I was like, oh, that makes more sense, actually. Yes, very much.
And that came up because, like, I was talking about, like, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I was making my case for that being the most depressing song, like, of Christmas, if not ever. And I said, there's lots of weird Christmas songs. Like, you know, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I'm like, you know, who wants to hear about your mom being a hoe? And she was like, what? And I said, well, think about it. She's making out with this mythical creature in the kitchen, gets caught by her own kids, doesn't realize it. It's like, that's the father. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she like lays it out to me, and I'm like, oh.
Ooh. You know, okay. The best way to introduce a new Christmas carol into the lineup is probably by, like, putting a new Christmas movie out.
You could nail the points. I mean, obviously Mariah Carey did it. Bing Crosby, like White Christmas, people think that's like Victorian old. No, it's not. It's from the 50s.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's a great movie. I love it.
Do you know what I mean? And now it's like an absolute fucking staple. You can introduce new Christmas songs. You just kind of have to work at it.
Indeed.
Harry Belafonte, Mary's Boy Child Jesus. That's relatively new.
Believe, technically a Christmas song from the Snowball or the Polar Express, not the Snowball Express. Completely different Christmas movie.
The Snowball Express. Yeah, it's not a Christmas movie at all. That's a
Christmas movie. We watch it during the holiday season. It's a Christmas movie. It's about as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard is.
You watch Snowballing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 during the Christmas season?
No, Snowball Express.
You don't know what snowballing is?
No.
So go to Urban Dictionary and look up snowballing.
Okay. Should I be scared? This is like the Russian candy cane all over again. I'm scared.
Zed Hero says, at what age did you realize that was the father? That was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh, it is the Russian candy cane all over again.
I don't even know what the Russian candy cane is. I don't want to know.
Polly.
What? I didn't make it up. You're the one saying you watch porn every fucking year.
That's gross. That's really gross. That's super gross. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's not a rusty trombone. I mean, come on.
It's still gross. Ew. Yeah, I know. How dare he? That asshole.
I didn't make it up.
No, she's just in my face about it. That's gross. Probably. Why did you do that to me?
You asked.
I could have gone my entire life without knowing that. Then you had to bring it up, and you're like, Weebo, look it up on the dictionary. Uh-huh.
Well, no matter what porn comes up with, hentai's worse.
Nasty.
You want to see the fucking meme Sinatra sent me last night? If you want to talk about gross.
Do I? Do I really want to? All right, fine. Show it to me.
Boom. Copy image. Boom. And there's Sinatra DMing me right now. What are your ears ringing?
On Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Feel the melody that's playing. No, I had a great idea for another holiday streaming show for charity for next year. It's basically holiday karaoke. So the audience would request their favorite Christmas song, financially speaking. Bump at the top of the list, and whatever like donation is the highest is the one that gets fulfilled next. And so we have a queue lineup, and then we get various YouTubers, me included, to just sing the Christmas Carol for the audience. And it'd be a gigantic embarrassment fest, but I think it would make so much money for like charity if we were to do it in like the scope of for children's cancer research for St. Jude's. Because there's two things that you can depend on for the internet, right? One is people love to see YouTubers embarrass themselves on stream. Or
Sure.
Not just YouTubers, but like people embarrass themselves on streams. And they will pay money to do so. And so if all of that money is going to a good cause, I see no reason why we shouldn't do that.
Do you own a mitten muff? You seem like the kind of person.
A mitten muff, like
it's like it's I don't know how to. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like a cylinder of fur. Do you put your hands in?
No. Are those like the tubes?
Yeah, it's like a fur tube.
Oh, the things that the Russians used to. It was like super fashionable back in like the 1920s or whatever, right? Where that's the only time I've ever seen it. Maybe.
Yeah, but I'm like stuck in the 30s and 40s, so like it seems current to me.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't own one of them.
No.
I'm fancy, but not that fancy.
I mean, there's an opening line during the Christmas season. Hey, girl, you got a muff?
God damn. All right, show me these memes, these memes.
I did. I already sent it to you.
Oh.
I didn't say memes. I said memes, singular.
Okay. I'll put that on the screen for the people.
You can show that to the people, are you?
I'm going to show that to the people. Here, guys. Is this the white Christmas they're all talking about? God damn. Nah!
Yeah, you blame Sinatra for that one. I didn't know it or even conceived of such a thing until he fucking sent it to me.
Of course. No, I still think that the snowballing is worse. But yeah, that's probably not the best Christmas decoration that they could have come up with. Actually, I think that's the worst Christmas decoration I've ever seen.
Well, they could have like put like a little hat on the statue that caught the falling wax. Like, you understand when it's like a little reservoir hat?
You mean like a brim?
Yeah, yeah, a well-brimmed
That
hat.
thing. It might have been on Picture That or Picture This, said Hero. We do this thing on side quest.
Oh shit!
Picture This, where we literally just pull these kind of images.
Excuse me.
Doesn't take.
Excuse me.
All right, no more. Yeah, we play against this. It's very much possible, that it appeared in a Picture This at some point. The Daniel Foreman asked me, Monk and Scribe do not know what to do for Weebo's talent show. What would Weebo like them to do? Scribe already reached out to me about his idea, and I have to get back to him on material for that idea. Monkey apparently still doesn't know what to do.
Far's idea is good. It's coming along well.
That's good.
She's had some road bumps with it, but it'll work out in the end. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
Excellent. I have several ideas myself that I have to get situated before the actual date itself, but I have a few other priorities and pressing matters to get to before that day. But since I am the actual person putting on the show, I can do it after everyone else's deadline because
or nothing at all. You just get, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's your present is your presence is your present.
Yeah, but I also really want to do them too because I have the ideas and I don't want to not do them. I've already thought about them. I've put the mental energy into the thing.
Fair enough.
And so I'm gonna do it.
All right, I'd like to thank the next 6 minutes for a donation of $2.42. Thank you very much. Love getting back to working on big projects. Next project is underway. Hammer and I are going to be doing some recording tomorrow if you're free. If you can't, have a great week. Sub to Polly. Yeah. Depending on what time this is happening, yes. I have things that are doing tomorrow. The doings is transpiring, but there's also a whole bunch of free time in the midst of the doings. So yeah, that's possible.
Indeed. Who the hell is logging onto Windows? I don't know. This isn't me. You can't actually hear any of my audio because I don't have a speaker hooked up to this computer. So all of my desktop audio only plays in my ear. Unless I'm using OBS and I'm routing it to the output.
God, her deception is perfect, isn't it? Please believe every word.
My deception?
Dolly Folman. Daniel Folman asked Polly, do you have a Victorian top hat? No, I don't. But there are a number of Victorian hats that I would like to bring into my possession.
Like, what kind of hats? Including the Victorian top hat?
I don't know if I want a top hat.
You gotta have a top hat. I mean, as long as you're going the extra mile to pad your wardrobe with hats from history, the top hat is kind of a staple. And you have to include it, and to not include it would be a disservice to hats all around the world.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like one of the hats with the ear flaps.
A hat with an ear flap. Pray tell, What does this look like? Hat, ear flap.
I'm positive when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, one of them.
Oh! Like, hang on. Like that?
Yeah, exactly. And like when you flip them up to the sides, it's just like extra warmth for the top of your head. But if like the wind's really howling on your fucking face, you can like, drop it down.
Ah! Go away.
Cover up your ears and your cheeks and whatnot.
So like this?
No, that guy's a little gay.
Like this?
No, that's pretty hipster.
Like this?
Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
That was
See?
me.
The deception is real.
That was me, but that was my phone. It has nothing to do with Windows.
See, something more like that. You just were on it. There's
Like that?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I meant.
Like that?
No.
Like that? Like that?
Look at that guy. Look at that hat.
You would are an egg, sir.
Yeah, look at that whole situation. It's just terrible.
Like that.
That's an interesting shaped one. What's going on there? It looks like a
that,
Luigi hat. What
I
the
think
fuck?
that is a hat worn by small children. Like that. I'm having way too much fun with this. Wait, let me see if I can find another odd one.
I'd like a nice
Like
monochromatic. Yes, that's perfect.
You want a monochromatic what?
Deer stalker,
Deer.
as opposed to a plaid deer stalker.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're such a nerd!
I am a fan of Sherlock Holmes and will make no apologies, madam.
I didn't know that was what that was called, by the way.
Well, all sorts of information flowing your way.
So you want a monochromatic. Alright. Alright. Nope, that's got plaid. I don't think they make monochromatic deerstalker hats.
It's fine. I'll just buy one that's like dark colored plaid and dye the motherfucker.
Here's a bright orange one.
That's a lady's hat.
You're a lady's hat.
Look at the bow on top.
I know, it's so
End up
cute.
looking like a cat.
I don't think that they actually make deerstalker hats in a fabric that isn't multicolored in some way. I mean, this might be the closest that you can get.
Ooh, I like the wool.
Yeah.
I'd like a woolen one like that. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Is that monochromatic enough for you, or are you
Yeah, it pretty much is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's got like the fuzzy whatnots that wool has with the highlight, you know, and the stuff of the different.
You want
fibers.
it understated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want it a bright tartan that looks like I stole a Scotsman's kilt and made a hat.
Is this too?
Yeah. See, that was nice. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd like to eat a nice charcoal, perhaps.
It is charcoal. But these are too extra for you.
Go to the guy to the left. What is he going for? Like the Scots hunter look? Like
that's literally from Outlander. I love that TV show. Oh.
I do have a calabash pipe, actually. Daniel Fullman asked, Polly, do you have the Sherlock Holmes pipe? The calabash pipe?
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Dougal Mackenzie from Outlander.
Holy shit. Yeah, he's really scotting it up. Now, if we want to get technical, Sherlock Holmes smoked from a whole array of pipes, most often clay pipes, as well as smoking cigarettes. The calabash pipe is never mentioned in any of the original 60 Holmes stories.
Wow.
It came about in the movies. And that's
Scottish.
fine. That's fine. It's a nice pipe.
Very Scottish. Like kilts and everything. And swords. You know, if you ever are super bored and kind of want to watch... Huh?
I often am.
Yeah, okay. If you're super bored and you want to watch a fun TV show, maybe not fun, but I enjoyed it, based off of a book series with historical shenanigans. Anyway, Outlander is really fun. I liked it. I still like it. I like the costumes. I like the storyline. I like the romance. I like the characters are really fun too. The dialogue is super witty. There's nothing I don't like about it, really. I mean, things make me uncomfortable about it because there's an element of realism there that like just is jarring, because it does take elements of history and like shove them in your face. But I really like it. It's a really good TV show. So definitely 10 out of 10 would
Polly
recommend.
wants a 2K.
Hmm?
I don't know. It must be a certain kind of hat, a 2K.
Apparently, no one is ever obligated to apologize for being a fan of Sherlock Holmes. Woman, I'm not saying you should apologize for that. I'm saying Polly's a nerd.
That's fine.
And I'm just stating it.
Have I ever read any of the Weird Tales pulps? The pulps that I mostly read have been like Black Mask, where like the original Shadow stories are from, and some of the pulp stuff when Raymond Chandler, before he had written full Philip Marlowe detective novels, wrote a couple of Philip Marlowe pulps, and then characters that are not named Philip Marlowe, but pretty much are Marlowe, like early developments of him under different names, like the Hardboiled Detective, etc. So yeah, I've read some pulp material, but it's mostly been the Shadow and detective noir.
Oh, I love this. Assassins of the Grey says Outlander, where a woman committing adultery is a-okay as long as it involves time travel and a hot Scotsman. Okay, that's an oversimplification of what happened. It really is though, because she got stuck in the past. Well, so she's a married English woman. Got stuck in the past in the middle of Jacobean revolting Scotland against the British, and circumstances just so happened to accumulate to a moment of, well, in order to protect herself, because she is technically a British subject, in order to not be a British subject and get turned over to the Redcoats, which wanted her for like questioning because they believed her to be a spy, in order to not have to do that, she had to marry a Scotsman to change her nationality because that was the law. So legally, that was how she had to do that. In order to solidify that the marriage was legitimate, they actually had to have sex. And the rest, as they say, is history. So, I mean, as far as reasons go...
I didn't fuck him. I just tripped and fell on his dick.
As far as reasons go, I mean... like everything after that, of course, it's definitely adultery. But that in that moment, I wouldn't say it's necessarily adultery to save your own skin by sleeping with a Scotsman in order to validate your marriage, to change your green card marriage in order to not get turned over to your government in order to survive.
How would they even know? You're trapped in the past. Yeah, we totally consummated the marriage. I consummated it right in the ass. Like, how are they going to know?
I mean, I like the TV show, adultery aside. It does work with some complicated issues and handles them really well and very creatively. I don't know. It's a really nice TV show. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it a lot. And the book is really nice too. But yeah, the adultery was a little bit jarring to get past initially. To be honest, the fact that she was married before she went back in time I see it more as like a plot device, as an obstacle for why she would have, like, why she wanted to go back to the future, more than an actual like marriage, if that makes sense. Because we only get a single chapter of her and Frank in the present before she gets zapped into the past, into 17 whatever the fuck. Anyway, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying she had a pretty good reason for sleeping with Jamie. I'm just saying. Because they were sitting outside the marriage bedroom listening to ensure that the marriage was a legit one.
How many hours of sleep did you have last night, Weebo Jones?
Not enough. Not nearly enough. Like
Same
maybe
here.
6.5.
I'm fading fast. I need a nap.
Yeah. So you want to call it in like 6 minutes when this bad boy is at 1 hour and 30?
6 minutes.
Yeah. The next 6 minutes.
And during the next 6 minutes, she said the thing.
I did.
We will take questions.
Indeed,
and
we will.
and be super entertaining in her answers, I'm sure. What is the yawn count? Up to about 4? Yeah, no doubt. That's a bad stream etiquette, yawning into the mic.
That's why my mic is all the way over there.
Yeah, but I'm doing it too, so it's like you're not singled out here. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Fullman says, "What was the Christopher Reeves movie about the time travel, Time After Time?" I don't remember what it was called, but I love that movie. Holly, do you know what it was?
Nope.
Oh gosh. Okay, so Christopher Reeves goes back in time, falls in love with this woman, and then accidentally gets zapped to the present. And he falls in love with her, and he's like about to spend the rest of his life with her, and then like right at the end, he gets zapped back to his own time accidentally, and he can't go back. And he tries, and he tries, and he tries, and he ends up like he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it back, and he ends up dying trying to get back. It's like it's a bittersweet ending because yes, he ends up in heaven with the woman that he loves, both as their younger selves, but they didn't get to spend their actual real life together. And you know what? It's very interesting, all of the complexities that come along with the implications of time travel and what those mean for characters and their story and the plot and history as a whole and how things change and how things don't change. And I'm a sucker for a good time travel plot and the implications behind it. Like, hands down, it's a good time.
Nice.
Oh, Snow Pilot. Wait, the adultery was hard to get past, not the 3. Yes, 3 rapes. The rapes were also hard to get past. The most recent season where I don't want to spoil it. Polly, if you're gonna watch it, I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Well, the most recent season that I saw had Brianna get raped, and that whole scene was very chilling to watch. Like right in your face. It was hard, but I got through it. I bet it was hard for her too. God damn it. I'm sorry, that's a bad joke. But I jest, but it was like probably one of the best. It was the best worst scene I've ever had to like put myself through, if that makes any sense, Polly.
Yep.
Like there are some scenes that are hard to get through for different reasons. Oh, can you get down? But this one, it was horrific, but perfectly executed. It was Outlander. Somewhere in Time. That is the Christopher Reeves movie. Another good one. Yeah, I just really like time travel movies. I can't help it. Anything to do with time travel, which is why I like Doctor Who, right up until like the Matt Smith era, and then I just kind of petered out. Does Streamlabs work? It does, but I haven't been paying attention. I apologize. Thank you to S-Server21 for the donation. Sorry I'm late. Why are you looking at Ushanka's? Being the Bond fam I am, I want the Sundown Trilby, but it's expensive. Well, we're looking at them because, and I think you're talking about the flappy hats, because Polly wants one. Right?
Yes.
You want the flappy hat?
Oh, well, yeah, because it's multi-purpose.
Yes.
It gets cold.
Is it cold or is it cool that you're trying to say? I can't tell.
Well, it depends. See, if it's cool, you can have the flaps up. If it gets cold, you can put the flaps down and tie them around your chin and get the extra insulation and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. We got one more minute. You want to send her off with the outro?
Okay.
Snowbelly, you may not want to watch the season finale for the last one, just say. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen the last season yet. I've only seen season up to season, like the end of season 4, I think. I haven't seen season 5. Anyway, okay, sorry. Gage Schrader donated 5 to say, did you like Delatrune CH2? Deltarune. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, I am dead. Did you like Deltarune CH2? Deltarune CH2. Deltarune Chapter 2. I'm not quite sure what that's a reference to. Is that a book? Someone send me a chapter book? Do I not? What I'm so confused. I haven't played it yet, actually. It's a video game. Nope, haven't played it yet. Okay. Sorry. I did not complete my tea set. Yes, wait, yes, I did complete my tea set. I got the coffee pot. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Outro, because you're tired and I'm tired. Gotta go to bed. I'm sleepy. When is the Christmas fundraising show? It's after Christmas. I haven't decided on a date yet. I'm thinking.
Is it really?
Yeah, it'll be after Christmas because, like I said, I want people to enjoy their holidays without having the obligation of watching and donating to a thing. Like, here, you get a week to cool off. And that also gives me time to set up for the show as well because I got a lot of things going on in December. And so I have to set up my stream, everything. All of the assets have to go in and get loaded into the OBS scenes so everything gets sorted. And I have a lot of organization stuff to commit to before we can actually stream. So it gives me some buffer time as well as the MC and the host and the person pushing all the buttons and such, because I get a stream kit for Christmas this year. So I have to program that and learn how to use it. I'm thinking about doing a dress rehearsal of sorts, but not with the actual bits that everyone else wants to. Just a kind of trial and error with things that I don't quite understand. So that'll be before the variety show. After Christmas, though. Can you get your butt out of the camera, dear? I'm thinking maybe the 30th of December, if not sooner than that. I don't want to go too far after Christmas. So I'll let you know when I've settled on a date. It's probably going to be as soon as next week that I will have that date in mind. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I am also working on another video. I can't say anything about it. It's super top secret, and I don't want to tell you about it. So that's the other thing. But it's coming out on the 15th of December. That I can say. Or sometime near or around the 15th of December, I think. I don't have an exact date. Maybe. It's up in the air right now. It's a collaborative effort, though. Other than that, Holly, do you have anything to share with the audience?
Well, there's Triple Gay tomorrow, Triple A tomorrow, over on Drunkle's channel, and Triple Gay on my channel.
Triple Gay
on Wednesday, and then on Friday again. If you don't watch, you should. If you don't watch, what's wrong with you?
I watch. You should go totally watch it.
5:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. on Christmas Island.
Mm-hmm. Do it, or be square. Other than that, nothing else on the docket.
I've got stuff that I'm editing. It'll come out when it's ready. Like it's not like I'm trying to perfect it. I just mean when I get it finished, it'll come up.
It'll get there when it gets there.
Yeah, well, I'd like to be one of those YouTube people that has like a regular schedule. I've tried that. It doesn't work.
No, not when you have like real life stuff that you got to do.
Yeah.
I feel that. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lizard people of all ages, Polly and I have been the Cocktail Hour. We will see you next week. Same time, same place, same otter, same face. We thank you so much for all of your everything that you do for this. Without you, we would just be two idiots sitting in Discord, yapping at each other. That we would. So we'll see you later, and have a good week. Thank you for coming. Have a good time.
Absolutely. Have a good night, all. Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Woo!